Hello, welcome to Bloom Art by SW, and this is day 4 of trying out black watercolour paper. I bought some recently and I've done day 1, 2 and 3 already. If you've missed them, I will pop them into the description box so you can have a look. So as you can see, I've spent a little while putting together some blues from the Winsor Newton range, and just a cheap brush. I've used that just to mix the blues. And then I'm using a flat brush from Princeton. However, it didn't work. The idea was to have blue down as a base colour, but black watercolour paper, it didn't work, as you can see. So don't bother doing that. Just put down good old-fashioned plain water if that's what you would like to do. Not a problem. This is my brush, silver black velvet range, size 8. You can just use any round brush. And then what I did was, the idea was to get some blue onto the paper, and I just thought it was going to work because I just thought the Winsor Newton range was still good to work on black watercolour paper, but it hasn't. And to top it off as well, I actually haven't attempted to paint the sea, so I probably shouldn't have done that either. Anyway, I carried on. I've got a reference photo which I will pop up for you. It's nothing like it. Again, I think it was just a bit of a too big a challenge. I've been doing flowers, leaves, botanicals for a while. To do a bit of a too much of a challenge, I probably shouldn't have done this, but never mind, here we go. So I've picked the white from the normal Winsor Newton range, and again, the idea is to use these as a highlight. You know, when you see the ocean or the sea, you've got the white bits. So I thought, okay, well, let's just pop the white bits down and get those on the page. And then I'll use the blue from my metallic range, which I've been using quite a lot of and works really well on black watercolour paper. The problem is, I'll show you in a second, when you use the blue from the metallic set of colours, it comes out white. It doesn't come out blue. So it just hasn't worked. So I've just carried on with the white highlights because that's the only thing you can see. And that was the first layer, and I stopped there and waited for it to dry. With the white gel pen, I just added a few more lines as well. Like I say, I just wanted to add the whites in and then paint around the whites, if that makes sense. This is my Shimmer set. It's unbranded, and I bought this a little while ago as well. I've been using them a little bit, and I'm going to use the blue. So, okay, I was happy with that. That's showing quite nicely on the paper, but it still doesn't really look like the ocean or the sea or water. But you can see the blue. So I've achieved what I wanted. I wanted some blue showing through the black paper. The shimmer colours that I'm using as well, as you can see, I'm using them directly from the paints. I'm not mixing them. I'm using not a lot of water as well. I'm using a tiny bit of water because you need water with watercolours. But I'm putting it directly on the paper, and I'm just trying to create the waves. It sort of looks like what I had in my head, and it sort of doesn't. Let me bring up that picture again, actually. Yeah, it looks nothing like it, does it? It doesn't matter. I'm really enjoying the brush strokes, and I still wanted to post this just to show people, just because you've started something, it's not going the way you want it to go, doesn't mean you should just abandon it. So this is the blue that I was talking about of the Winsor and Newton metallic pocket set. It's a lovely colour, but it doesn't come out blue. It just comes out white onto the black watercolour paper. I haven't tried it on white watercolour paper yet. But again, I'm not mixing it on the palette. I'm using it directly. And I don't know if you can see that, but it just feels so nice to brush onto the paper. But it's not blue. I'm not using a lot of water again because I didn't want the paints diluted. I'm just using a tiny bit of paint just to activate the paints. You probably didn't see me, but I did spray them, and I'm using, again, just using it directly. I'm getting a tiny bit of paint, a bit of water, and then I'm just trying to create the waves. So yeah, I still wanted to post this, just to show beginners that just because you've started a painting, it's not going the way you want. Yes, you can abandon it. And then as long as you come back to it in a couple of days, which is what I did when I did the first layer, I did leave it for a couple of days. I went and filmed my supplies Christmas haul. And so that's up as well. If you do want to see that, I'll pop that in the description box. But I came back to this, and I was determined to at least finish it, even if it's not quite the result I wanted. I just wanted to show you, just don't give up with something and just keep going with it. If you really don't want to do it, if you really, really do feel like it's just not working, then you've got to make the call, haven't you? Abandon it or turn it over and use the other side. If it really is no good. But yeah, I just wanted to carry on and see what it looks like. I do add some other colours in, and I think the end result, I'm actually quite pleased with it. I'm adding some of the other metallic colours just to try and give it some sort of depth, movement, a bit of interest. Whether that's worked or not, I'm not sure at this point, but you can sort of see the waves. I'm trying to convince myself. Let's bring up the picture again. So the movement is sort of there. The highlights, the white bits, I can do them at the end, but it's sort of there and sort of isn't. What do you think? Do you think it looks like the picture, or completely not at all? Or am I just seeing things that I want to see? I'm just trying to add a bit more. I don't know if I'm just making it worse. I'm using the metallic white from the metallic range just to try and add a few more highlighted waves. See that bit, I think the bottom corner seems to have gone better. And I'm going to start adding some different colours in. The gold, and there's like an orangey, goldy, peachy type shimmer colour. And this is where I think it actually does come alive a little bit. Okay, it might not quite look like the picture, but I've made it my own, and I feel like, I don't know what I feel like. I would love to know your thoughts on it. What do you think? Give me bluntly honest answers. I can take it. I'm a big girl. Just tell me what you think. Do you like it? Do you not like it? How would you have done this differently? are you going to try it or not bother? Either way, I actually did quite enjoy it. It didn't start out well, but doing the actual brush strokes, it's all a learning curve. So when I do try and attempt to do the sea or the water or the ocean, I've got a better idea of the brush strokes that I'm going to use. Normally I say I hope you found this useful, but I'm not sure if you did. I hope you enjoyed watching anyway. Thank you for being here, and I will see you on the next video. I will go back to doing some flowers. I've got some Gangsai Tambi to try. That was the other thing. I can't pronounce stuff, but I've got some gem colours to try on black watercolour paper as well. So I can't wait to try those. I'd love for you to join me again in that video, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.